Hello, good
Hello,
afternoon. Hello.
good afternoon.
Hi, Fatima. Thanks for joining.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Finally, because we were writing a lot of emails and now we can see each other. That's nice. So I think
Excellent.
we can start. Uh, Let me introduce myself. I'm Fatima Franco. I represent the National Scholarship Program, BECAL. And in today's webinar, we are presenting the University of Strathclyde. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that well. You can help us later.
That's perfect.
So in this session, we have Gordon Dunlop, and he will be presenting all the opportunities that this university can offer to potential Paraguayan students. So we can start with your presentation, Gordon, and please go ahead.
Excellent. Thank you, Fatima, and thank you for the kind introduction. Your pronunciation of Strathclyde was perfect. Thank you. So just bear with me 1 second. I will share my screen.
In the meantime, I would like to invite people if they have questions, and you can write through the chat, and we will be answering all the questions that you have while we are doing this presentation.
Yeah. Um, Thanks, Fatima. Yeah, please do just drop them into the chat box. We'll be happy to address them at the end. We will also share these slides with you so that you have the kind of key information and links and points of reference. Could I also just introduce my colleague, Will? I think Will was having some technical issues, so he's just joined us and he's actually going to start the presentation. So I'll maybe hand over to Will, and Will, if it's okay, I can just move the slides on. If you just give me a shout when you want to move on.
Perfect. Hey everyone, glad to have joined. Apologies, a bit of technical difficulties, but I've made it here. So thank you for joining us tonight or this afternoon, wherever you may be. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to speak to you today a little bit about Strathclyde and some options that you have should you wish to come study with us. We're going to cover a few points, talking about the university, talking a little bit about Scotland, and talking about the city of Glasgow as well, where our beautiful campus is based. So first of all, a couple of key facts about us. So we're quite a historic university. We were founded all the way back in 1796, and we've always gone by this motto of a place of useful learning, and that'll kind of feed into what we're going to talk about a little bit later in the slides. On campus, we currently have about 30,000 students, and we're a very multinational campus. So we've got 140 different nationalities represented. So when you're wandering around campus, you will see some familiar faces, probably hear some familiar accents as well. And the city of Glasgow itself is a really multinational place, so lots of opportunity to get out and explore there too. We are Scotland's third largest university, and we are based right in the heart of the city of Glasgow. And the campus kind of spans about a 3 block by 2 block radius. So everything very centralised. You've got your teaching and learning buildings, you've got your gym, your library, and student accommodation is either on campus or very close by to campus as well. For our master's programs, we offer over 200 one-year master's courses, and we'll talk through a couple of them shortly. We've also got hundreds of PhD opportunities across the 4 faculties, and if that's not enough to keep you busy, we've also got over 200 clubs and societies you can join. So we've got everything from sports teams, we've got clubs and societies for hobbies, we've got clubs and societies for religion, and for lifestyle choice as well. So plenty to keep you busy along with your studies. And next slide, please. Okay, so why might you choose Strathclyde? As I say, we have a lot of history. We're based in the city of Glasgow, and there's lots of courses and lots of fun things you do. But you've also got a lot of prestige behind us as well. This year, we've been voted UK University of the Year 2025 in Daily Mail Awards. We're also the Scottish University of the Year in the Times University Awards. We've got a number of courses that are ranked in the top 10 in the UK. Joint 251st in the QS World Rankings, and a bunch of others as well. I won't bore you by reading the whole slide, but we've got a lot of really good prestigious qualifications and awards that we've received recently, and yeah, a lot of opportunity for you. Next slide, please, Gordon. Okay, so another reason that may interest you in Strathclyde is a couple of our funding and partnerships that we have. So we accept a Chevening scholarship, and we have approximately 10 to 15 Chevening scholars or students on campus with us each year. We've got a testimonial from one of our students who was here in 22-23, and basically takes some to encourage people to come to Scotland, the UK. I mean, Glasgow is really a beautiful city. If you've not had a chance to visit, you can check a lot of things out online and you can kind of see what there's an offer for you. Another little fun fact is that Glasgow is routinely ranked the world's friendliest city. Now, people sometimes don't believe me when I say that, but you can pop it into Google and it will pop up there. We are really a friendly bunch. We love to meet outsiders, new people, and we love sharing our Scottish culture as well. So you never can really be afraid. There's lots to see and do, like I say, and lots of people sharing that culture there too. Next slide, please. Okay, so reasons again why you might want to come study in Scotland. We do really have a world-renowned education system. We are a leader in engineering, life sciences, sustainable offshore wind, clean heat, space, and software. Again, when it comes to engineering and science, there's a lot of history there. If you pop in to Google kind of what was invented in Scotland or what Scottish inventors have created, it's everything from kind of penicillin, television, flushing toilets. There's a lot of history in engineering and science there. We've also got a really good infrastructure and connectivity. So once you're in Glasgow, it is very easy to travel and explore wider Glasgow, wider Scotland and the UK in general. The bus links and trains are very safe and very easy to use. So you can travel around Scotland very easily on train or by bus. A couple other reasons you might want to study in Glasgow. We are Scotland's third largest city. We are also a UNESCO City of Music, so if you're into music, gigs, that kind of culture, there's lots to see and do. And I think we have over 1 million gigs in the city every year. Everything from big artists from around the world to smaller kind of traditional bands. There's also a lot of international conferences and events being held. So again, some of them I'll tie into the courses that you're studying, so opportunity to get involved in that. Glasgow is known as the green space. There's also 90 plus parks and green spaces for you to go out and explore. We have international airports, so again, really easy to travel further afield, and fantastic shopping as well. So again, a lot to keep you busy whilst you're studying with us. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we have a little snapshot of our campus. So on the top map, you can see all the buildings in blue are the teaching and learning space. Number 7 is the sports facility, and number 8 is the library. Just below number 8, the sort of orange buildings, is a lot of the student dorms or accommodation. So as you can see, it's kind of a 3x2 block radius. I think the max walk from student dorms is about a 10-minute walk to the classroom, so really well integrated. On the lower map there, which is a little bit smaller, you can see our campus in relation to the city centre. So within a sort of 10-15 minute walk, you have everything on hand. You've got galleries, museums, cinema, you've got your transport links, so the 3 major train stations, bus station, and you've also got an underground. Another fun little fact, it's the 3rd oldest metro or underground in the world, and that'll take you all around the city of Glasgow. And then you've also got some beautiful green space down in Glasgow Green as well. So when the weather is a bit better in Scotland, and you do have some nice summers, believe it or not, and you can enjoy that green space. God, I don't know if you want to talk about any other buildings, or are you happy for me to keep going on? You're on mute.
Yeah, just to say that Glasgow is a very compact city. It's very easy to navigate and to get around. You can walk almost everywhere, and as Will said, like everything that you could need is just within easy walking distance of the university campus. So it's a very compact and student-friendly city.
And again, linking into those transport links, there are international airports in Glasgow and in Edinburgh, and you can fly wider afield quite easily. So flights over to Amsterdam, Paris, and down to London, all less than 2 hours. Flights over from the US, from the East Coast, you're looking at about 6 hours. From the West Coast, about 13 hours. From Central Latin America, similar, just a little bit more than that. And as I say, Glasgow International Airport, you can transition usually someplace in the States and then land into Glasgow quite easily.
Okay, so at Strathclyde, we are a university that prides itself on our industry connections, and that translates to employability for you as students or potential future students of our university. So we, both at master's level and at PhD level, we are very well connected with multiple industry partners across a range of sectors. And how that plays out is through things like industry placements, which are built into some of our courses, or particularly, so the typical master's program would be 12 months in duration, split into 3 semesters. The first 2 semesters will typically be the teaching phase, during which time there will often be input from industry partners in the form of guest lectures or case studies or coursework that you will work on, which is specific to businesses within the sector relating to your course of study. Then in the research phase, so the 3rd semester is mostly research focused, and often the dissertation or research project can often be taken in collaboration with an external company. So again, you're kind of working on research which is contributing to the sector, and you're gaining industry experience as you go. At PhD level as well, there is a lot of collaboration between private sector companies, government, and the university. That's something that we really pride ourselves on. So as a PhD student, you'll be gaining significant industry exposure. You'll be collaborating on research, which is having a real world impact. Where that is most in evidence is in one of the PhD modes of delivery that we have. We have centres for doctoral training, which are interdisciplinary centres. You would be undertaking your PhD in a cohort environment with other students from other disciplines, working with business to develop solutions for specific problems of a global nature. So a really dynamic, interesting, exciting environment to undertake your PhD. So that's just some of the examples of how we engage and interact with business, and how that ultimately impacts your employability with the exposure that you're gaining, the connections you're making, and the experience in working on these types of projects. Extending that to the student experience, so we are a very innovative university and an innovative campus, and we've tried to embed the industry engagement and collaboration in many of the things we do around campus. So, for example, we have industry engagement and commercialization built into the delivery of the programs. So as I mentioned, during our master's programs through guest lectures and research projects, or at PhD level in collaborative research. We also have Strathclyde Inspire. So this is the entrepreneurial body with it that sits within the university. And it really drives our culture of entrepreneurship. So if you are a student of any discipline and you have an idea that you want to take forward and create your own company or develop your own idea, Strathclyde Inspire can support you with business plans, with the commercialization of this idea or of your research. There are kind of coaching sessions with existing entrepreneurs and alumni from the university. So, and this applies to any field of study, whatever your product, whatever your idea, whatever your research, and there is the opportunity to tap into the entrepreneurship and innovation expertise that exists on campus. Part of that as well is highlighted in the infrastructure at the university. So we have the Technology and Innovation Zone, which houses a fantastic state-of-the-art research facility. And this is where much of that collaborative research between university, government, and industry takes place. World-class facilities, working with some startup companies, small, medium-sized companies, and also large blue-chip organizations to solve problems in a whole host of different sectors. We also have another of external innovation districts outside of the university campus where we develop research collaboration and innovation with various sectors, including, so at the National Manufacturing Institute for Scotland, we're concerned with new age manufacturing for Industry 4.0. Back over to you, Will.
Perfect. Yes. So we have 4 main schools within the university. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. Again, they have some really good and prestigious courses. So we have 9 subjects ranked in UK Top 10. And we've got a bunch of undergraduate courses, but also over 50 postgraduate programs as well. I'm going to give you a couple of the courses that we have. Like I say, we have over 200 subjects. I don't want to sit and list them all, otherwise you'll be getting fed up hearing from us. But I'll give you a couple of them that we have. So we have courses in Applied Gender Studies, Understanding Complex and Cognitive Autism, Clinical and Health Psychology, Counselling and Psychotherapy, of course in creative writing, really good subjects and courses in digital journalism, courses in diplomacy and international security, sport and data analytics, and translation studies as well. I'll pass over to Gordon to speak about some of the other options we have too.
Okay, so as well as that master's course offering, we also have an extensive offering in PhD or postgraduate research across the 5 schools, the 6 schools that you can see listed here. So each school has multiple different research clusters and groups, multiple areas of expertise, and literally hundreds of supervisors who you can approach and tap into to undertake your chosen research topic. So when it comes to applying for PhDs in this faculty, they're of a nature where what we call supervisor-led. So for this faculty, you as the student would always pitch your own PhD proposal. You would submit your own idea to the faculty, and I will share my details after the presentation, but that's a process in terms of submitting the application and identifying the supervisor and matching your proposal with the priorities of the department. That's a process that I am happy to support with.
Perfect. And the next faculty we have is the Faculty of Engineering. We have one of the largest engineering faculties in the UK. I'm not sure if Gordon mentioned this at the start, but the campus as a whole has just finished a £1 billion investment. And a lot of that money has been put into facilities that are available to students, including the courses in engineering. So really, we do have state-of-the-art opportunities and facilities for you to come study with us. As Gordon's already mentioned as well, there's lots of opportunities to engage with research, and that kind of links back into that very first point I made of the place of useful learning. The courses and degrees that you have the opportunity to come study with us really do set you up for work and careers and progression at the end of it. So again, we have 8 world-class schools or departments covering a lot of the key engineering disciplines. And I'll read you through some of the more specialist options that we have at the master's level. So we've got courses in advanced chemical process engineering, electrical power and energy systems, manufacturing, naval architecture, robotic intelligent systems, design engineering, and supply chain engineering and management. So again, it's only a small snapshot of some of the options that we have available to you. I'll pass over to Gordon.
Thanks, Will. And again, similar to humanities and social sciences, each of these academic departments has multiple research groups and areas of expertise. So literally hundreds of potential PhD opportunities. Where this faculty is slightly different is in the application process. So in humanities, you as a student would always pitch your own idea. In the Faculty of Engineering, it tends to be more project PhDs. So these are essentially PhD vacancies that we are looking for suitable candidates to apply for. So it's almost more like applying for a job. So you're applying for a PhD position which already exists. The PhD has been created by the supervisor, and we need suitably qualified students to fulfill these positions. So that's just how the kind of PhD application process differs slightly in the Faculty of Engineering.
Perfect. Now our third school is the Faculty of Science. Again, some really highly ranked subjects here. So number 1 in the UK for pharmacology and pharmacy, number 1 for subjects aligned to medicine, and ranked in the top 10 for chemistry too. When you look at things like forensics, also ranked number 1 in UK. This faculty has 5 different departments. So we've got computer and information sciences, maths and statistics, physics, pure and applied chemistry, and pharmacology. Some of the master's courses that are available to you would be advanced biochemistry, computer science, and we also specialise in computer science with AI, or cybersecurity, or data science. Also, you've got the option of pharmacology. We also do a drug delivery program and immunology program as well. Applied physics, applied health sciences, biomedical engineering, nanoscience, and photonics as well. So this is a small snapshot again of some of the courses available to you.
And at research level, so again, a breadth of options across each of the 5 departments. Very well connected with industry in this faculty. So we work very closely with some of the large pharmaceutical firms, GlaxoSmithKline, AstraZeneca, and also with the National Health Service in the UK. So there's an awful lot of project opportunities and industry collaboration at research level. Like engineering, PhDs in this faculty tend to follow the project model. So you would apply for a specific project opportunity rather than submitting your own proposal.
And then our final school is the Strathclyde Business School. Again, a lot of history there, established in 1948. We have over 2,500 undergraduates and 2,000 postgraduate students. We have a bunch of different departments or schools. So we have accounting and finance, economics, entrepreneurship, management science, MBA in general management, education and development, and work employment and organisation. I can cover a few of the different courses that we can offer you for PhD. So everything from kind of accounting and finance, applied economics, marketing, applied statistics, and business management. But again, like I say, there's 200 options across all the schools, so lots more to research yourself, and we can talk about that as well later.
And again, at research level, multiple opportunities across each of these departments. So the Strathclyde Business School is similar to humanities and social sciences. So here you would submit your own proposal to a potential supervisor. And again, that is a process that we can support you with. So I guess for clarity, so for business and humanities subjects, which are more discursive in nature, students submit their own PhD proposal. For STEM subjects, so science, engineering, the more technical subjects, usually you would be applying for a PhD project.
So entry requirements. For your master's level, we're looking for professional qualification with a minimum duration of 4 years kind of experience considered for postgraduate study. Looking at a score of 4.0 or 80 is considered kind of comparable to a UK 2-1, and a score of 3.5 or 75 is comparable to a 2-2. So for most of the master's programs, we're looking for a minimum 2-2. Many of them are looking for a kind of 2-1 to give you a kind of comparison of where that is. And then do you want to keep going to the PhD? Sorry.
Yep. So how that translates to PhD studies. So we'd look for the same requirements. With the STEM subjects, so the project type PhDs in science and engineering, it is possible to progress directly from bachelor's to PhD. It's not always necessary to have a master's degree. What you will have to be able to evidence, though, is your exposure to research during your bachelor's, so either a dissertation or research project. So you need to be able to kind of evidence your research skills and experience from your bachelor's, but it is possible to make that jump directly to PhD. For business and humanities, usually we would need a master's degree qualification. For English language requirements, so generally speaking, IELTS is the kind of benchmark qualification that we use, but we do accept multiple different English language tests. So generally, we'd look for an IELTS score of 6.5 or equivalent, and we have a link that we can share with the presentation detailing all of the different English language tests we can accept and the equivalent grade. One thing to note, so if you're applying for a master's course in our Faculty of Science, the IELTS requirement is slightly lower at 6.0.
Perfect. And then application process for masters is an online portal. It's quite a simple system. You can go on, find the course page. You'll find information all about the course page. You'll also see opportunities where previous graduates have gone on to work. Information about the course and the subjects you'll take kind of year on year on. And then for submitting your application, we'll be looking at academic transcripts, a CV, which is basically a resume, essentially. So about yourself, any work experience that you have, or any experience that's relevant to the course you're applying for. A statement of purpose is kind of why you want to do this course and how it's going to benefit you. And then 2 letters of reference. I guess not only look for an academic and a work one, but just it's something along those lines is kind of what they're looking for. That's what Gordon for the PhD.
Yeah, so PhD, the process is pretty much the same in terms of the documentation you would need, but with certain PhDs, so for humanities courses and business courses, you would obviously need your own research proposal. There's lots of guidance on our website, and again, I can share the links outlining how to structure and support in writing your research proposal. And we can also support in the identification of supervisors and helping you to engage directly with them.
Okay, so we have a number of different accommodation options available on campus. When we saw from the map earlier on, the accommodation is only about a 5-10 minute walk from your sites of learning, so really close by. We have over 2,000 rooms on campus. Many of the apartments are set up as like 4 or 6 in an apartment. A lot of them are en suite, some of them are still shared bathrooms, and then the whole apartment of 4 or 6 have a shared kitchen and living space. There are also options for single sex apartments and alcohol free as well. The apartments are all secure entry, so secure entry to the main door, secure entry into your apartment, and secure entry into your room as well. And we have 24-hour security and support available. There's a kind of a price idea there. So we're starting from about £117 per week. And this includes all your bills, access to the sports centre as well. And then we have got a big social media presence, so there's lots of opportunities to follow us there. Our students are always kind of talking about what they're getting up to, whether it be through internships, work, classes, and social activities as well. So I think we'll share the slides with you at the end. But do check out our socials. We're on everything: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Lots of opportunities to learn more about us and see what our students are doing as well.
Okay, so and just the last couple of slides from us. So just some background on some of the additional support services that we offer to all of our students, but certainly no less international students. So you can expect support through your academic journey, through our various study support teams. There's financial advice in terms of helping you manage your finances throughout the year. We have a career service as well. So we discussed earlier the employability aspect of your study with us and how we support that. And the careers service is an integral part of that. It's a service that you can use as soon as you arrive on campus. There are multiple online resources. There are kind of tutorials and seminars delivered throughout the year. They also host multiple employment networking events, either at departmental or faculty level, but also some university-wide events where organisations will come and they will look to network with our students. There's an international student support team who can help with specific queries around kind of administrative and logistical issues which support international students, as well as a very comprehensive disability and wellbeing support service looking after all your kind of health and care needs. There's also advice hubs. There's the student union, which we'll touch on as well. So all sorts of different clubs and societies and support available through the student community as well. And in relation to, so I mentioned the student union. So at the university, you won't be stuck for something to do, whether it's a hobby or meeting new people through a community. There are over 200 clubs and societies for whatever your interests or kind of community, you'll find that within our student union. Strathclyde Sports, so Will mentioned the investment in the campus and the investment in our sporting facilities. We've got a world-class sports centre, complete with swimming pools, saunas, gyms, dance studios, yoga studios, tennis courts, basketball courts, football pitches. So, and that all feeds into the student union and all the different clubs and societies. And you can play any of these things at the kind of beginners or kind of intermediate level, right up to elite level competition as well. And I mentioned the career service. So yeah, they provide bespoke guidance to you. It's a service you can use as soon as you arrive on campus, but equally up until 5 years after you graduate. So they can help you network with potential employers. They'll be able to pinpoint opportunities both in the UK but also internationally as well, relating to your field of study and your skill set. So it's a great service, very comprehensive, lots of online resources. There is also an international pre-arrival module. So you can, as an international student, you can undertake this module online just to get more of a feel for what opportunities and what support is available to you through the career service at Strathclyde. And that concludes the presentation. So I hope it's been informative. I can see a few questions have been coming through. I'll maybe hand back to you, Fatima, if you want to perhaps facilitate any further question that we have from the audience.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Gordon and William, for this presentation. I see that we have a few questions in the chat. So while you answer those questions, I would like to tell a little bit more about BECAL program. So I will start my presentation. Well, let me tell you that this is a very special year for BECAL because we are turning 10 years of implementation of this program here in Paraguay. So our goal is to send potential students to study abroad in the best universities around the world. So we look for academic excellence, and the focus of our scholarship program is to fund master's degree and PhD programs. So those programs are related to science, technology, innovation, research, all these main areas that are connected to the required development for our country. So in these 10 years of implementation of the program, we have more than 3,700 scholars that were selected, and they represent all the departments of the country. They come from all around our country. So BECAL has a national reach of the scholarship. Right now, we have more than 600 scholars that are active around the world. We have scholars in the United States, in the UK, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Spain. So they are everywhere around the world. So what opportunities you can get from BECAL to do your studies abroad? You can fund your master's degree, your PhD, postdoctorate, and also we are implementing, starting this year, specializations or short-term programs which are conducted online in universities around the world. So they are all focused in areas like natural science, engineering and technology, medicine, social sciences, and humanities. So all the process to apply for the BECAL funding, first you must get in touch with the university to get the admission letter. And with that admission letter, you apply for BECAL funding. So BECAL has 2 calls during the year. The first one is in March. So the application process goes from March to May. And this is to start your studies during the second semester of the year. The other call that we have is from September to November. And this is to start your studies in the next semester of the next year. Actually, we are now almost closing this second call. It will close on November 3rd. So all the process is online through this platform, and all the references and all the detailed information that you need to apply is in our website. So you can download the guidance to the application. The BECAL scholarship could cover many different benefits, like, for example, tuition for the program, health insurance, monthly stipends, the tickets. Also, we can provide books and academic materials. And there are, well, for master's degree, the scholarship could be up to 50,000 American dollars. So that could go for 1-year program, master program, or a 2-year program. For PhD program, the scholarship is up to 90,000 American dollars, and that could go for 48 months. For postdoctorate could be for 24 months, and the scholarship is up to 30,000 American dollars. We also have the opportunity to do exchange program, which is while you are doing your degree, you can do exchange program, which is like a semester abroad, and that could be for 6 months. And the scholarship will cover up to 10,000 American dollars. And what I was mentioning about specializations or short-term programs that could be conducted online, this could be like starting a program from 100 hours to a maximum of 12 months. And the scholarship could cover between 5,000 American dollars to 8,000 American dollars. We are always very active on social media where we announce our calls, and also we tell a little bit more about the experience of our scholars around the world and how they did in their programs like masters or PhD. So that is something that we try to promote, trying to create a network of scholars from Paraguay. So this is my presentation. And also, I would like to mention that recently we signed an agreement with the University of Strathclyde. And this agreement is very important because the university can provide discount for tuition. So in that way, the BECAL scholarship could even be like maybe like a full scholarship depending on the program. So that is something that I wanted to highlight, and it was something very. We were working this year to sign the agreement, and finally we did it. So I think you can take yes. So it's an opportunity that you probably can take advantage for our next call, which will be in March. So in that line, I would like to ask Gordon and William how much time it will get to get an admission letter, for example, for a master's degree or a PhD program.
So for master's degree, typically the turnaround time would be about 2 weeks. So it's quite a quick process from kind of submission of the application. Certainly what speeds up the process is ensuring that all documentation is complete upon submission. So if there's any kind of go-between between admissions teams and the student, that can delay the process. So if everything's complete and the student meets all the criteria, then yeah, generally speaking, I think 2 weeks would be a fair turnaround time. There can be certain peak periods where that might stretch to kind of 3 to 4 weeks, but on average, we're looking at 2 weeks. For PhD programs, it's a little bit longer. So the application process, particularly for the student-led opportunities where the student is pitching their own proposal, that is more involved. So there's the review of the proposal, there's the identification of the supervisor, and sometimes there has to be communication between supervisors to identify the right primary supervisor and secondary supervisor. So generally for PhD, we say probably about 4 to 6 weeks for PhD applications.
So that will be a good time to prepare for our next call, which is in March of next year. So people will have time to apply to the university and see all the requirements for BECAL funding. I can see that we have a few questions from potential students. They are mentioning that they want to study a master's degree, PhD program. And actually, I'm very happy to see that the programs that they want to study are actually related to the strategic areas that BECAL wants to promote. And actually, they are aligned with the development program of Paraguay. So I think you all will have a great chance to get a scholarship and also getting into the university. We have a question. Is there a timeline to do the application for master program? It's a question from Giovanni.
So there's not a hard deadline for master's applications. I guess what we generally advise students is so the start date for the master's program will be usually the middle of September. So we suggest working back from that date. So usually we advise about a 6-week period for visa administration and the processing of your visa application. And then obviously you have the sort of 2 to 4 week admission turnaround. So you'd certainly want to apply no later than sort of May, possibly into June, for a master's program beginning in September. But then, of course, you need to factor in any deadlines that BECAL have around the kind of funding application there. So as far as the university is concerned, you can apply for programs as late as sort of May time, but you wouldn't want to leave it much later than that. Is that anything to add to that, Will? Is that fair enough?
Oh, yeah, I think that's spot on. Yeah. Timelines. Like say, yeah, you want to consider enough time to get your application in, get all your transcripts together. If you're looking to apply for scholarships, funding through BECAL, and then obviously just to bear in mind, each country has different visa timelines in terms of how long it'll take you to get a visa. So just make sure you have a look at that as well.
Yeah, I think Laura was asking specifically about applying in March, and yeah, you'd be absolutely fine.
Yes, so if she applies in March, the application process goes from March to May, and this is actually to start in the second semester, which will be around September at the university. So
Yeah,
that's
so
the right call to apply for funding. Okay, so I think we don't have any more questions. And I will also would like to mention that this webinar, we are going to post this in our YouTube channel. So if you would like to review it, there will be available to review any of the information. We have 2 more questions from Laura. She is mentioning like the call will be for January. No. So the call for the self-managed will start in March. So we only have 2 calls in March and September. If I apply for BECAL funding on November, I won't be able to start until September. Actually, if you apply for funding on November, which is the call that we are having open right now, this is to start your studies during the first semester of next year. So the appropriate call for to apply for funding, if you want to start in September, will be the one that starts in March. We have another question. Is BECAL supporting students with funding for MBAs? Actually, MBAs it cannot be covered with the BECAL funding. So I'm sorry to tell you that. But all the other areas are available, and also if you want to look for other programs like the ones that are related to science, technology, or for example, data science, those are available to apply. So I think we covered all the questions. So I would like to thank Gordon and William for this time and for this webinar, for all the information that you gave us. I think it's very valuable for our potential students. And we hope to get more scholars from Paraguay to the University of Strathclyde.
Let's hope so.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. So we will see each other very soon. So have a good day.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.